Sometimes, there are places that don't exist on any map, because what lives there isn't just water. It's something else. Something that calls your name. Woman's voice whispering, "Help me, it's so cold." Pry, Beyond the Rain, Part 1. Pry open. I was running through the woods behind our house, where just a small patch of trees. But now I know, there was something else out there. I'm part of the cross-country team, so running through the woods became my daily routine. A clean 2-mile loop that ran through the forest, crossed a road, and came back home. But across that road stood an enormous reservoir. Government boards nailed everywhere. No trespassing, restricted property. Even Google Maps didn't show it, as if the government had erased it from existence. One evening, after my run, I heard something. Something moving behind the bushes near the back of the trail. I thought probably an animal. But that was just the beginning. That night, I was in my room. The window was open. The rain whispered, lightning flashed, and the smell of wet earth filled the air. Slowly, sleep began to creep in. And then, I heard something strange through the rain. At first, it sounded like the wind brushing through branches. But then, I heard it clearly. A woman crying. And then, a voice. "Help me, it's so cold." Every hair on my body stood up. I jumped out of bed and ran to the door, rain soaking me as I stepped outside near my window. And there she was, a woman, drenched in white clothes, crouched down under the roof, as if trying to hide from the storm. I asked, "Are you okay? Can I help you?" ... She slowly lifted her head, half her face hidden in the dark. And then, she suddenly stood up and ran straight toward me. I stumbled back, heart racing, but she stopped, just a few feet away. She stared at me for a second, then turned around and ran straight into the forest, barefoot, without looking back. Now, R.A.B., the next morning, I told my dad everything. He was terrified too. We locked every door and window that night. Thought of calling the police, but who would come in that kind of storm? By morning, everything seemed normal again. We assumed she was just a homeless woman, or someone mentally disturbed, trying to escape the rain. But the real horror began a few days later. Believe me, a week later, I went for another run through the same trail. The sky was clear, but the air was still damp. When I reached the reservoir, I peeked through the fence. And there, by the water, she was sitting. The same woman, white dress clinging to her body, feet dipped in the water, completely still. I froze, and when she turned to look at me, her eyes were wild, unblinking. She ran to the fence, pressed her face against the wire, and smiled. That smile, no human could ever make. I shouted, "I'm calling the police!" And then she turned away and jumped into the water. Thunder cracks loudly. I called 911. Police searched the area, but there was no sign of any woman, not even footprints. And since that day, every night, I hear footsteps below my window again, as if someone has come back. The second story is about a man who chose the wrong night to sleep in the wrong house. His name was Thomas. He went to stay at his old property house, an abandoned place deep in the woods, where there used to be a shooting range years ago. That night, the rain came down hard. He was lying in bed upstairs, lightning flashing outside. Then, suddenly, glass shattering. He jumped up, grabbed his rifle, and went downstairs. Checked every room. One window was broken, but no one was inside. Still, his heart pounded, as if someone was watching him. He went back upstairs, rifle beside the bed. Then, footsteps. Coming from below. No answer. But then, a draining sound. Something heavy scraping across the floor. He ran downstairs, turned on the lights. Nothing had moved, but the air felt cold, like someone invisible was standing right next to him. And then, something inside him snapped. A voice whispered, "Run." Didn't look back. Got into his truck, rain pounding on the windshield, and drove off into the dark. Now, every night, he still hears the same sound. Glass breaking. Sometimes in dreams. Sometimes for real. All right. Part 3, The Friend Lost in the Rain. The third story, about Jason and his friend Leo, driving back from a party on a stormy night. They had to stop the car. Leo needed to pee. Jason laughed. "Make it quick." Leo walked into the field. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. He didn't return. Suddenly, Leo came running back, eyes wide, breathing hard. "Drive. Drive now," Jason asked. "What happened?" Leo's voice trembled. "I saw you, but it wasn't you. There was someone out there, looked exactly like you. Same jacket, same walk. I thought you were messing with me. But when he turned around, that face wasn't human." Jason hit the gas, and then, bang! A loud pop. The tire burst. Jason stepped out to check, and found a screwdriver jammed deep into the tire. They both froze. The rain grew heavier. 5 seconds of silence. Then Leo whispered, "He's still out there." Jason slowly turned back, and in the flash of lightning, they saw her. The woman, white dress, drenched, smiling. A week later, police found an old report near the reservoir. 15 years ago, a woman had drowned there during a failed government experiment. The file was marked classified, buried, forgotten. They say the reservoir wasn't just a water tank. It was part of a human reanimation experiment, where DNA was fused with water. If one night you hear a voice under your window say, "Help me, it's so cold," don't open it, because maybe it isn't human.